It's pretty common knowledge nowadays that governments are under increased pressure to do more with less and to prove to the citizenry that the investment they make with their tax dollars are being spent in the right places to achieve the goals and objectives that the state has to protect and support and provide the services that each one of the citizens needs, wants, and expects. The performance budgeting system was conceived by the state of Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia, to address that need so that the governor level all the way down through the actual execution of a budget were tied together so the goals and objectives of the legislature, the governor, each of the secretariats of the state, each of the agencies within each secretariat could put together a plan that says this is what we're trying to do, this is what our objectives are, this is what we have as a strategic plan. Then they can develop a budget against that plan that then allocates the money they spend against the goals, objectives, and measures that they collect, such that you can see we're getting the value for our money and we're achieving the goals and objective and improving life in the state, such as quality of life, the environment, for example, transportation. The systems are improving, parks and recreation. There are multiple ways each state agency and each secretariat looks at success. And the system, the performance budgeting system, which makes it a performance budgeting system, is to tie the money spent to the improvement to the citizen and be able to show that in a very transparent fashion.
The performance budgeting suite, I'm asked almost every day what the performance budgeting suite is, what it includes, why it's worthwhile to our clients, and I have a relatively straightforward answer. It's the only solution in the marketplace that really ties together from strategic planning and the goals and the mission of the state or the department or the agency, carries that through the definition of programs and the goals and objectives associated with those programs, and then ties that into the formulation, the budget formulation process, the actual investment of both funds and resources to accomplish the mission of the agency, of the department, and then allows you to formulate and ultimately publish the bill, the budget bill for approval by the legislature and ultimately the governor. Once done, we then have modules or if you will, components of the solution that allow you to monitor the execution of that budget and ultimately report back on the outcomes, the results, the performance achieved by the agency, the department, or the state in general against the monies and the resource of commitments that were allocated in the budget process. It's an end-to-end solution to help our clients manage their financial environment more effectively.
So with the start of the base is base budget. So we named the module base budget, and that's where the Department of Planning and Budget, they create their targets for the agency, and then the agency is responsible for arraying those targets as they see appropriately. They have to meet these targets exactly, submit them back to the Central Budgeting Authority, and then the Central Budgeting Authority goes ahead and approves those targets. That's followed by base budget adjustments, which are adjustments to the base. These adjustments are targets that are created by the Central Budgeting Authority, and then they're sent over to the agencies, and the same process happens again. The agency arrays these base budget adjustments, submits them back to the Department of Planning and Budget, and they're responsible for putting forth their recommendations. The part where the agency is able to create their adjustments / amendments, it comes in technical adjustments and decision packages. Technical adjustments and decision packages are done after the base and base budget adjustments, and their agency requests for increase in utilization, inflation, to account for inflation, and whatnot. There also are certain changes that they may want in the legislation, so there may be some language-only changes as well. These are submitted to the Central Budgeting Authority, and DPB puts in their recommendations, and they submit these recommendations to the governor, generally through a report. And once the governor approves them, they'll finalize them, put a status of in the track, and they'll move forward from there.
The reporting features of this tool are actually set up with Logi Analytics, or otherwise known as Logi XML. And with that tool, we're able to complete numerous reports for users to allow them to track their edits or additions to the different modules within the PV system. Also, the reporting services allow us the flexibility to change or I guess acclimate the services that the users request to assist them better in their daily tasks within the PV system.
So the COTS budgeting solution that we use utilizes a flexible workflow engine and also has the ability to be configurable for numerous workflow steps. So if you can create a business process or a decision tree, we can create a workflow for you.
Our system provides a number of benefits to the state budgeting process. Speed to budget creation is one of them, for example. It used to be that the analysts, whether at the central authority called the Department of Planning and Budget, or each one of the agencies and departments in the agencies, used to spend an inordinate amount of time exchanging information and making sure that that information was consistent across both the domains. The system provides the ability to eliminate that entire problem by saying they're always working with the same data set. So whether it's the central authority or the state agency, they're both looking at the same information consistently. One of the comments we received was that one of the problems they've got now is how to spend all the analysts extra time that they're not managing their data. Another benefit of the system is the accuracy of the information. No longer do they have to wonder if the numbers that are being looked at to the central authority, which we're going to provide it to the governor and the legislature, are consistent with what the agencies have entered. They both know now that that information is always completely accurate. One of the other big advantages the system provides is the ability to change quickly. During the legislative process, when the governor has approved the budget and has presented it to the legislature, you have legislative committees which are constantly making changes and requests for additional information from agencies and departments and secretariats. These agencies and secretariats now and the departments can respond quickly to providing that information, then based on directives from the legislature, provide them alternatives analysis for if I reduce this or I increase that can be quickly addressed and provided to the legislature such that they can make decisions and negotiate a final bill that the governor and the legislature can both agree on.